You want to do the intro?
What do I say? Welcome to Sofie's channel.
Ciao! Hey guys! Ciao friends! Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, thank you so much for stopping by. Today we have a very special guest. What's your name?
My name is Sophia. Sophia
squared.
Squared.
Yeah. So you've never seen her on my channel before, so this is your debut.
This is my YouTube debut.
Yeah! Okay, but I was getting into the bag. I feel so honored. So we thought, well, Sophia is, we'll get into a little bit about who she is,
who I am,
where she's from, but we thought it would be fun to do a little, like, you know, mukbang.
Mukbang?
Kind of. I mean, it's not going to be like intense. We're just going to have dinner with you guys. Yeah. We just got sushi takeout. So excited.
I'm so hungry. Very excited.
And we asked you guys to ask us questions about like expat life, living in Rome, things like that. My cat's being psycho, like normal.
Like normal.
So yeah. So like we're just gonna get into the questions, answer them, and while we start eating,
food.
what did we get? So we got like veggie rolls. So Sophia's a vegan.
I'm vegan.
I would say fellow vegan, but I'm not like 100% vegan.
She's like
on the cusp.
85%.
Should we get
vegan?
No, we don't need plates, do we?
No.
We have a bowl.
Yeah.
So we got vegan, like tempura, zucchini, carrot, avocado roll, and veggie gyoza, which is like a dumpling, and edamame. Ooh, I got to start with that.
And noodles. What are?
Oh,
I don't even know what the noodles are.
They're like soba noodles. They don't look that promising.
They thick.
They thick. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
It'll be good.
It'll be a little smorgasbord.
The edamame look a little bit sad. There's like usually like salt or something on them. They're just like.
What can you expect though from like takeout sushi?
Asian food in Rome.
No, like you have to go there.
Not the best.
Yeah, it's hit or miss for sure. So they gave us little good things though. They gave us these little like little soy sauce trays.
Yeah, what do you call it?
Soy tray. Soy tray. So yeah, Sophia, tell us a little bit. Where are you from? How long have you been living in Rome? Where else do you live in the world?
In the world. Well, I'm American mostly. I was born in New York City. I had to think about that for a second. I was born in New York City, but I have kind of lived all over the place. When I was living in the US, I lived in Connecticut, and I grew up mostly in New Hampshire.
New England?
New England, represent.
Which you're not a New England girl.
I like am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've traveled and lived so many other places, but then I also went to school. I did my undergrad in DC. And then I lived in Sweden for 2 years because, if you can't tell by the blonde hair.
Girl, Swedish!
I'm half Swedish. So
Can you say something in Swedish for us?
Oh wow.
Did I just put you on the spot?
Oh.
I just got ginger.
Hej och välkomna till Sofies kanal.
Oh my god. That's so cool!
I just basically said hello and welcome to Sophie's channel.
That's so cool!
Yeah.
I know nothing about Swedish.
I'm trying to teach her. I'm trying to show her some Swedish YouTubers, actually.
Yeah, I just feel like that's such a hard language. It's so outside of like anything that I'm used to.
It's definitely not at all like, I mean, English or Italian, so.
No.
Yeah.
It's like not like a romance language, so I wouldn't know anything.
Not at all, but yeah. Good. I'll talk while she has her mouthful of sushi. Yeah, so I lived in Sweden for 2 years, and then I moved to England. I did my master's in London.
So cool.
And then I moved back to the US briefly to pursue Olympic weightlifting, if you can't tell.
Mine
pretty jacked.
This girl is like everything. I'm like, wait, what?
What do you do?
Like learn something new all the time.
Yeah. So then I decided that I missed Europe, and I had always wanted to live in Italy. So I basically just moved here.
That's actually one of the questions.
Yeah, okay, good.
Oh, well, one of the questions is, why did we move to Italy? What brought us to Rome? Specifically, what brought us to Rome?
Yeah.
What brought you to Rome?
I had been to Rome a few times before, and I just love it here so much.
Well, you're part Italian too, right?
Yeah, I'm like a little bit Italian. I'm not gonna tell you my last name now.
Yeah. Okay.
I can remain slightly anonymous.
That's fine.
On the YouTube.
I haven't ever like divulged my.
Oh.
Well, on Instagram.
On Instagram. On Instagram. But I just loved Rome. I fell in love with it, like most people do, and decided to move here. And a lot has happened since then to make living in Rome actually work, which I'm sure you've talked about.
Well, you have dual citizenship. We both have dual citizenship.
I'm Swedish citizenship, I have, yeah.
So it's easy for you to live here.
Much easier than having to find a visa or get a visa. And
you looked out, for sure.
True.
And how long have you been in Rome? Like off and on, right?
I've been, yes, because I travel a lot for work and stuff like that. But I've lived in Rome since January last year. So,
okay. So like a year
no, not January last year. I moved to Italy in January last year.
Because you didn't tell them a little bit, what did you do when you first moved to Italy?
I first moved to Italy and I lived in Puglia, which is in the south.
Love it.
Beautiful, go there. But I was an au pair for like 4 months.
I would have never like guessed that.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're not like the kind of like au pair type.
Yeah, I'm not. It was
like
a good
a family?
experience. I had a really nice family, really great family, but I'm glad that I decided to only do that as like a temporary thing. And then basically I moved to Rome because I wanted to live here. So I've been in Rome since May last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Not
like
even a year.
almost a year.
You've been here for a lot longer.
Well, it's because I've been in Italy for over a year, but not in Rome for a year yet. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're both expats, and some people responded saying, I don't know what an expat is. So for those of you who don't know, an expat is anyone who lives abroad, outside of their home country.
Yeah,
home country, right?
Expatriate. So you're obviously a patriot of wherever you're from.
Yeah.
So we're expatriates.
I don't know how. Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
Yeah.
So let's just like go into some of the questions because there's a lot. We can go through. There's a lot, so we're not going to be able to get through all of them, or else we would be here for hours probably. This is so good. Those are delicious.
These are really good.
These are like not bad, but they're like
decent.
I've had better. I can make them
decent.
at home.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone asked. I got this a lot, and I think that this is a good question. I want to live abroad one day too. Only thing that is scary is being away from my family. How do you deal with separation from your family?
Ooh,
that's a good one because I definitely have. But I struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah.
What about how do you?
That's a really good question. I think
I feel like you can't answer it in one.
Yeah, you can't really answer it in a very simple way, but also it's going to be different for every person.
Right.
I love my family. I don't want to seem like a savage. I love my family and I miss them, but I'm also...
You're like a very independent woman.
I'm very independent.
Yeah, like you don't mess with Sophia.
Like hashtag...
@NDEPEND.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Independent woman. No, I'm very, very independent, and I really have become who I am today, as cheesy as that sounds, by being independent, and especially by living and traveling abroad by myself, because I basically have lived overseas by myself for going on 7 years, because I was in Sweden first and then England.
That's
and
so
now
cool,
here. So I miss my family, but obviously
you see them.
I see them. I try to go home like at least once a year. Well, they will come here. But I think we're so lucky that nowadays there's Skype.
I was gonna say, like, for me, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I WhatsApp with my family all the time.
Yeah.
Why are you all wet?
It can be tricky though. Obviously you have to deal with the time difference, and you have to be able to like sacrifice certain parts of your day to make sure that you can talk to your family. So
yeah, I think that, and we are fortunate enough to like be able to see our families, at least once a year, or have them come visit, because I'm just a very family oriented person, and that's for me been like the hardest thing, just because I'm very close, especially with my parents, and Oh, we have a guest. We have a little guest. Have you tried this yet? It's good.
My mouth's full.
Okay, next question.
Maybe it did a little bit too much wasabi.
Oh no!
Yeah.
All right. What's the toughest part about moving to Italy as an American? Also, what do you miss about America? Like for me, the toughest part was like being legal here and like being
Can't relate.
Yeah,
but
lucky. I finally got citizenship, but getting that was tough, and that was the hardest part for me. Like logistically moving.
yeah.
The hardest part is like
The hardest part about being an American here, can I be honest?
yeah. I mean, hello.
Italians, and this is not everyone, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
generalize.
let's not get offended Italians, because I know you guys are Pedolosi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A kind of real stereotype that I've experienced myself. Personally, me, I can't speak for even Sofie, or anyone else, but Italians, or maybe Romans specifically, don't love Americans, even if they don't know you. It's kind of like they hear you speaking English.
And they like roll their eyes and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
he's American.
which
we actually got that experience today.
Literally today.
Like, okay, random story, but we were having lunch today and there was an older couple like kind of next to us. We started speaking in English, normal pitch, normal volume.
Like normal human beings.
And this couple, they weren't even talking amongst themselves. They got coffee and they were reading the newspaper, and like this woman like turned around and gave us this evil look, and I'm like, stay at home if you want to just sit and read the newspaper. Like we are in a restaurant in an open space. We're talking. Yes, it's in English. Ooh. So things like that. We get like mean looks.
Don't hate us because you ain't us.
Yeah, I think like it's hard because no matter like how much you try to speak Italian, they'll like always then speak back to you in English, and you're like, no, I speak Italian. Like,
that is annoying.
Yeah.
I'm not even fluent yet in Italian, but I speak enough Italian that I
can get by.
Yeah, like every time I go out, I'm only speaking Italian. I mean, if I'm out with like an English-speaking friend like we were today, we speak English together, but like Sofie said, you'll be speaking Italian to them, like to the waiter, and then they'll respond in English, and you're like,
no.
What?
I mean, maybe they want to practice their English. I don't know.
I don't know. I think personally that they just are being rude on purpose. Who knows though?
What do you miss most about the States?
Certain food, speaking of. Certain food that you can't get here, or that you get here and it's horrible.
Totally. Like I miss being like, what are we gonna eat tonight? And literally having like an array of everything. Everything has like takeout. Here it's hard to find takeout.
Yeah.
And I miss like my car. Like we have a car here, but it's different. I miss like running errands and pulling right up to the actual store and not having to like find parking everywhere. But that's based on where I live. Other places in the States, it's hard to find parking. It depends on the city.
We were talking about this today.
Yeah.
Is I miss customer service, like actual good customer service. I know that sounds
no, and I don't know. I feel like
and not interesting, but
one, I feel like tourists don't experience that because they go to the touristy spots where they kind of have to have some type of customer service. But at least in Rome, customer service is really hard to find. They don't care. They don't try. They don't go the extra mile. They don't ask their manager, ask someone. You know, they're like, oh no, we can't do that.
Yeah. And obviously we miss our families, but
yeah, for sure. That is definitely one
obvious things.
Obvious. Do you get used to the architecture and beauty of the city so it becomes just a background of your everyday life, or can you still appreciate it after living there? That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I've never gotten that before.
I appreciate it every day.
Every day, yeah. I'm like,
every day.
Oh my god, look where I am. I mean, I could walk past it.
I could walk past the Coliseum and like not be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I'm always
just like
appreciative of like just walking outside in the morning. It gives you like a special feeling. Again, I know that sounds really corny, but
I mean, it's
everything's just so beautiful. It's hard to get used to it. Like, I mean, in a good way. Like, you're always kind of in awe by how beautiful things are.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question I really liked. Is there a good work-life balance in Italy? Do you get more vacation time? Does work generally start later? And we don't work Italian office jobs, but I know people who do. And they don't get any vacation time. They only get August.
Ferragosto.
Yeah. like a couple weeks in August and then maybe a week in Christmas. Like it's either before Christmas or after New Year. They can't choose when they're getting their vacation time. They can't be like, oh, I'm gonna take off a week in March, you know?
And I think I think work-life balance is actually pretty bad. I mean, maybe people go into the office later than we would in the US, but they stay at work until like 7 o'clock at night. But they also take a lot of breaks throughout the day.
They take a lot of breaks.
So.
They take their lunch hour. But
2 hours.
If they have an indeterminato contract, which it's hard to get, but if you have that in Italy, you can literally just call in and not go in. Like you can be like, I'm not coming in for the rest of the year, and you still have your, like, I'm ill or I'm pregnant. Like you can, if you have that type of, if you have that type of contract, I mean, a lot of people abuse it.
Yeah,
they like,
I could see that.
That contract means they can never get fired.
Sick.
So I mean, they could just be like, oh, I don't feel like going to work today.
Yeah. But I mean, those kinds of jobs are hard enough for Italians to find. So I personally don't know a single expat that has that kind of job.
Well, and the monthly salary is not good really, unless you're doing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. Unless you're like a notary.
Yeah.
Or like a judge or something.
Yeah.
So,
but like Sofie said, neither of us have those types of jobs.
I couldn't get one. I tried to get it when I first moved here.
Yeah, I'm a freelancer as well, so I've never had like an Italian job.
Well, actually, I did work for an Italian startup company for 3 months. And they didn't like pay me for months. So that's why I was like, I'm not doing this again. Okay. Is it hard to make friends as an expat in Rome? I heard Italians. I've heard Italians are a bit closed off. I think it's harder to make friends with Italians than it is with expats.
Oh yeah.
Because they do have their own little like niche. Once they already have their group of friends, usually it's from either like childhood or college. They don't really like accept new people.
No. I mean, I think that is totally true.
Yeah.
Just because, like Italians, the friends that they've had them their whole life. And I mean, again, it's not like everyone, it's not universal. I do have a couple Italian friends, but usually the Italian friends, in my opinion, that are like Italian people that are easier to make friends with as an expat are people that have traveled themselves or have lived in other places. So they're a little bit more open-minded to like, having friends that are not just the people they've known their entire lives.
Yep.
I mean, everyone that I've met here, like Sofie, I've met by just being really...
She's like the friend queen.
I basically just have reached out to people over social media and just been like, hey, do you want to get a coffee? Do you want to go out for aperitivo? Because the worst that's going to happen is that they say no. And I'm like, you're lost.
You tried. Good. I mean, that's how I met some of my friends too, you know? So... Oh, you can't see him.
That's insane.
He's obsessed. Do you ever regret moving to Italy? What do you do to cope with the regret? No, I don't regret it.
No.
Yeah, some days are difficult, but and I probably won't be here forever, but I don't regret it at all.
No.
I've met amazing friends and I just had like amazing experiences. Yeah, no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Hashtag no regrets.
No regrets. Regrets. All right, let's try these noodles.
So good.
Okay, so I get this asked all the time. It says, how long did it take you to learn Italian fluently? I mean, I still don't consider myself
Can't relate. I'm not Italian yet. I'm not Italian yet.
I mean, you're not.
I'm not fluent yet.
No, but you're not bad.
I'm decent.
You try, you know.
I try.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's easier for me to learn a language because I already am bilingual. I speak Swedish fluently. I mean, despite the fact that the languages are completely different. Your brain is, oh God.
I know.
Your brain is a little bit more used to learning another language. But I also travel a lot for work, so I'm not here all the time. And I work in English, so, and also, to be fair, have been a little bit lazy more recently with really making an effort. But that is changing soon because I am actually going to start taking private lessons.
Yes, you are.
Twice a week at least. So
I would say like, well, I still don't consider myself like fluent, but I can.
She
like,
is.
I mean, not like C2 level, but I would say I'm still learning, but probably 3 years. I mean, well, I've been here for like probably like 2 years maybe. Hi. You've got to.
Rolo really wants our food.
Why is he all wet?
Are you wet?
Oh my god.
No. No. Ow!
Stop. This is like our everyday. This is my everyday life with this cat. No.
He like reached out for the food as you pushed him up.
He is. No.
Bad boy.
Okay, how do you carry groceries home? Great question.
My arms.
With my arms?
I think probably why somebody asked this is we're used to in the US going on like massive shopping trips.
Here it's like I go like daily. I go on every day.
Yeah, like literally almost every single day.
And I bring my like reusable bags.
Yeah, and you don't go. I mean, we usually always go to a place that's close. Like I'm not gonna go to a market that's on the other side of the city. If I live, you know, I don't know. You go to grocery stores and markets that are close to where you live and go multiple times throughout the week.
What are some American ingredients you miss? Do they have kombucha?
They do.
Well, I found it at Naturasi once, and every time I go back, I don't see it anymore.
Really? Okay. I don't know if I've ever bought kombucha from Naturasi, but there's a little like Indian like restaurant, like kind of like more fast food restaurant that's near Piazza Navona, and they definitely have kombucha, but it's one of those things that's way more expensive here than it is.
Oh yeah.
Noodle slurp sound effect.
What is it like during the week of Ferragosto? Any recommendations for traveling? It's so busy in Italy because that's like the only time Italians get off, and any place is gonna be a lot, like especially like Rome. No, Rome's kind of like empty.
It's empty
with locals.
It's so hot, so humid. A lot of like the better places to eat, for example, are closed. Like smaller family-owned restaurants.
Things are closed for like 1 month here in Italy. At least in Rome, it's like from the 12th of August to like the 1st of September.
Don't come. Yeah, in August, honestly. I wouldn't.
Or go like somewhere beachy, but just know that things are gonna be a lot more expensive and super crowded.
And book in advance, like
way in advance.
6 months in advance at least, I would say.
What makes you want to remain in Italy despite its flaws?
Oh.
Well, I'm leaving soon. Dun dun dun!
Is that the first time you've said anything?
No, I've hinted at it. I don't know when yet.
She's leaving me.
But before 2019 ends, I will be out of Italy.
Oh.
And a big reason is, like, well, family's a big reason, but also Italy's flaws.
Yeah.
But I want to know, why do you remain
in Italy? Yeah, there's definitely things every single day that make me want to
scream,
hit my head against the wall. But I just think like the way of life is so much better, and the quality of life is so much better here.
That's true.
I mean, obviously there's things like food and the weather. I mean, those obviously help a lot, but I think it's more of a kind of a feeling that you get from being here or living here that you can't get in the US.
That's true.
However, having said that, it's a lot easier to appreciate the quality of life, or to have like make the most of the quality of life if, I mean, honestly, like financially, economically, you can, like, you know,
you can
take advantage
stretch
of it.
the dollar. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
More here.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have best of both worlds because you don't work for an Italian company. So you, I mean, there's a lot of ifs.
Yeah. I basically spend half the month in Italy, half the month outside of Italy.
Yeah.
So I kind of like can be away from it enough to miss it, and then I come back and can just fully appreciate it.
I mean, our like ideal goal is like to do 6 months in Italy, 6 months in the States. So eventually, me and Amelia will figure something out with our lives.
You'll manifest it.
Hope. Number 1 tip for learning Italian, I feel like
speak it and like force yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. Like
watch programs, TV shows in Italian.
Read the newspaper.
Yeah.
Even if you have English-speaking friends, if they are fluent in Italian, make them speak Italian to you, which is what I need to do. But
do you want me to start speaking Italian to you? I feel
Probably.
weird, like, because our relationship is based off of it's English, you know?
That's
I have no problem though.
See?
Possiamo continuare pure il video facendo...
No.
Okay, see, I tried.
No.
You're my witness.
In a video. In a video. Frightening.
What's your dream vacation? I like this question because it's like not about expat stuff.
My dream vacation. I like really chill vacations. I'm not like, okay, this is gonna be like a 4-day itinerary every single hour.
Same.
I like doing, or like visiting main sites if I go to like a really big city, or I mean wherever I go, but I like very like relaxed, chill vacations, not doing super touristy things, somewhere more like tranquil and remote.
Yeah.
I prefer much more of a major city. Yeah. Lots of sun, lots of good food, lots of sleeping.
Like an art, like I love beach vacation.
Yeah.
Dream vacation is definitely, like my honeymoon was a dream vacation. I don't know how we're gonna top that. Like I literally don't know how we're ever gonna top that. But
do you have a specific place that you haven't been that you really
I would love to do like South Africa.
Yeah.
Philippines, I hear is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Besides that, like, I feel like
I really want to go anywhere in Asia, really. I haven't been anywhere in Asia. That's on my list for next year. Is to go on like a big Asia trip, whether it's Asia or Indonesia.
Yeah.
One or the other.
I could see you.
Or both. Maybe backpacking for a couple months.
Ooh, Chiang Mai is like head of freelancer central.
Yeah.
I did Thailand for a couple weeks, but a long time ago. I would love to go back.
Yeah.
It's so much. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Traveling. This is interesting because this also can relate to you. How many generations did you go back for your citizenship, like your dual citizenship?
Oh,
so yours is Swedish.
Sweden's really easy. My mom's Swedish.
Was she born in Sweden?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm literally 50-50.
Did she like announce you when she was? I mean, you got at birth then.
Yes and no. So the way it works in Sweden is that you have to wait until you're 18 to claim your birthright citizenship, and then if you don't do it by the time you're, I think 22, maybe 23, then you lose the chance to do it forever.
That's kind of like tough.
It's a little bit stressful.
Hard ass.
So I mean, I did it as soon as I turned 18, and now I'm Swedish.
Brava.
Oh, life.
So you're one generation. Like
Yeah.
You go back.
Yeah, second generation Swedish. So.
Mine was 2. My mom's dad. Because my mom's dad, when my mom was born, he didn't like give her, because back then they didn't think like that like
My
that was
kid.
a thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like I don't know, back in the 60s. So my mom never got citizenship.
Yeah.
And so when I was asking about it, I had to get it from my grandfather. So I skipped my mom, and she still doesn't have it. But she can have it. No, she doesn't have it because she doesn't like say. She's like, oh, I won't need it ever.
Yeah, I mean,
even though I try to, you know, convince her otherwise, but whatever. Okay, last question, because we're pretty much done.
yeah.
So last question is, I was wondering how hard it is to find a nice apartment for rent in Rome. What are the usual prices? Is there any part of Rome you could recommend for long-term rentals? So she's a great one to ask, because Emilio had already gotten this apartment for us, so I didn't have to do any of that.
I've moved many times in Rome. I mean, not just in Europe, in Rome.
Oh my god.
Not gonna lie. Not easy, not fun.
And you're like a citizen, like
yeah,
you have...
like I can live here, I can be here however long I want to, when I want to. I don't need any permission. You can find it depends on what you want. Yeah. If you have money and you want to find a place that's like more modern and like refurbished and nice and are willing to spend like over €1,000 a month, it is
well
easy.
Well over that.
I mean, I would say upwards of like $1,200 a month. In the city center, you absolutely can, and you'll easily find a place like that through an agency. However, the problem with agencies, like if money is like a concern, you have to pay 4 months of rent when you move in. 1 to the first month's rent, 2 months of security deposit, and 1 month to the agent.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like in the States almost.
Yeah, it depends on where you are in the States.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but in Italy, that's euros. We're talking about euros.
Euros.
It's like a lot of money.
Euros, yeah. However, you can find rooms or even full apartments that are cheaper and also not through an agency, through like Facebook or like there's a site, what's it called? Porta Portese.
Immobiliare. But that is more like long-term rentals.
But it's more, yeah, it's still long-term. It's still hard to, you have to spend like weeks, if not months, like just dredging through like list upon list upon list. And you're probably gonna have to live outside of the center, which is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, the metro works, but
I mean, I personally wouldn't want to live like in this, like centro storico.
No, like by Piazza Navona, no, can't relate.
Because everything's either like really dark, really old and small.
Yeah.
Unless like you have like, you know, like that penthouse, which is like impossible to have.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think finding apartments or finding
like Monte's a nice area.
Yeah. I'm moving to Monte literally tomorrow. Monte is kind of in between like Termini
and the Colosseum.
Yeah, and the Colosseum. So it's very charming, but also very central. Yeah. It is popular and busy, but not like Trastevere is. And I've lived in Trastevere, which is gorgeous, but
I wouldn't live there. It's
no
like
offense,
too much.
Yeah,
I love it. It's beautiful,
tourists, but
it's just touristy.
It's insane and it's super expensive.
It's like living in Times Square, pretty much.
Kind of.
I mean, like, yes, not really, but really.
Yeah. So I would say long term, the best areas to live would be like here in Prati. Monte could work. I mean, there are places outside. Flaminia also. Yeah. I would just suggest do not live anywhere where your only mode of transportation is a bus. No. But no.
Hashtag attack. Like,
yeah.
No.
I mean,
the bus here sucks.
If you need to get anywhere and your only way of getting around is a bus, you can be like, okay, this is the timetable. The bus is gonna come in 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, and you're like, is it gonna come in 2 seconds? Is it gonna come in another 45 minutes? Should I just walk?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's the number one.
Location is gonna be everything. Like, what are you coming to do? Well, when this is posted, you'll already be living there.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, yeah. No longer living out of suitcases, which I've been doing for like the past 3 months because I've been like bouncing around and traveling.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm just exhausted thinking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think about our? It was good. You know, I mean, the edamame,
I mean, it's edamame. It's good. It's like crack. You can just kind of eat it.
But everything was really good. I mean, we're done. We literally finished everything.
We did really well.
Wow.
But we did like a very subdued mukbang. Is it mukbang or mukbang? You tell us.
Anyways, well, we're done.
And
they were good questions, and I wanted to thank you for appearing on. You guys, it feels a little nervous to come on YouTube.
I'm awkward.
I'm not. I'm like super awkward. So, you guys, Sofia has an awesome Instagram page. She's the best. Like, if you want to be entertained about life in Rome, she posts stories all the time.
Yeah.
Follow her on Instagram. I'll put her handle right here, and maybe we can convince her to start a YouTube channel.
There's been a lot of people trying to convince me.
I think that you need to start a YouTube channel. So for the time being, go follow her on Instagram. And thanks so much for clicking on this video. If you guys are an expat, then let us know where you're an expat down below in the comments. Could you relate to any of the stuff that we talked about? And if you liked what you saw today, then subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks, Sofia.
Ciao.
Ciao.